Imagine you're walking through a deserted town. The asphalt under your feet starting to soften like hot gum. There's no smoke from cooking fires, just strange cracks in the ground. There are no friendly neighbors, just danger, toxic gas and landslide signs. You're not in a scene from Silent Hill. You're in Centralia, Pennsylvania. It used to be a bustling mining town. But in 1962, an underground fire began to burn, caused by an accidental burning of trash near an old coal mine. The fire never went out. It spread to the coal veins deep underground, and in doing so, turned Centralia into a giant barbecue. Each year, the remaining residents leave. From over 1,000 residents, only a handful of people remain, as if to hold on to the memory of a place that is no longer safe, but has never lost its meaning. The freeway through Centralia was abandoned because of melting asphalt. The pavement could collapse at any moment. Toxic carbon dioxide and sulfur fumes seep from the ground, invisible but deadly. In most towns, you can run into your neighbors on a walk, while walking your dog, or at the supermarket. But in Whittier, Alaska, you can just take the elevator. The entire town of just over 200 people lives in a single building. Baggage Towers, a World War II-era structure that was originally built as a barracks. Today, it's a bizarre mix of student dorms, a medical clinic, a convenience store, a church, a post office, a school, and, most surprisingly, a functioning video store. Residents here can go weeks without leaving the house, with snowfall nearly 200 days a year. It's a lifestyle that's both convenient and terrifying. If you want to hide from the world, this is the place to be. But if you love your privacy, well, sharing a building with the entire town can be a nightmare. In Monowi, Nebraska, if you see someone, it's Elsie. This is the only town in America with only one resident. Elsie Eiler is the last living person. After her husband, Rudy, passed away in 2004. She runs the bar, manages the library, collects taxes, signs her own liquor license for herself. A self-governing town in the literal sense. And the only person left is a lone woman who refuses to leave. Refuses to surrender. She still opens the bar every day. Not many customers come. Mostly tourists or curious passers-by. But for her, Monowi is not dead. It is just hibernating. Every wall, every book in the library built by Rudy holds memories that she cannot let go of. Somewhere in California, there is a town so strange that if you live there, you are an absolute minority. The town is called Colma, just 2 square miles, with about 1,200 residents, and more than 2 million deceased. Yes, you heard right. There are 17 cemeteries here. It is not an exaggeration to say that this place is a town for the dead, or by its creepy but accurate nickname, City of Souls. The reason for this unusual concentration is that in the early 20th century, the city of San Francisco, for reasons of aesthetics and planning, decided to move all cemeteries out of the city. Thousands, tens of thousands, then millions of remains were moved to Colma. This land, from peaceful countryside, turned into an eternal transit station. In Colma, you can stroll through the graveyards of legends like Wyatt Earp and newspaper tycoon William Randolph Hearst. If you walk downtown, you might even find yourself standing on what used to be a grave. When you hear the name Miracle Village, you might imagine a peaceful, loving community where children play under coconut trees and old people play chess in the sunset. But the reality is quite the opposite. Miracle Village, Florida, is home to more than 100 sex offenders who have served their sentences, and they have gathered together in a closed community, managed by a pastor named Richard Witherow. The story begins with a simple but difficult fact. In the United States, people who have committed sex crimes, even those who have served their sentences, are restricted from living within a radius of schools, parks, and residential areas. That is, almost nowhere. So Witherow, who worked as a prison chaplain for 30 years, founded Miracle Village as a humane solution. It sounds both scary and thoughtful. Imagine a place with no police, no government, no water, electricity, or taxes. A place where anyone can live, as long as they have a tent or an RV. That's Slab City, an anarchist settlement in the middle of the Colorado Desert, California. Originally, it was a training base for the U.S. Marine Corps. After World War II, when the barracks were demolished, Only the slabs, concrete foundations, remained. And on those foundations, people began building tents, trucks, and temporary houses to live. Today, Slab City is home to hundreds of people on the margins of society, eccentric artists, unemployed veterans, homeless people, rebels against modern civilization, even people who choose to live wild for their ideals. No laws, no constraints, but also no amenities, no security. Have you ever heard Americans speak English that's more British than British? If not, head to Tangier Island, Virginia, located in the middle of the Chesapeake Bay. This is one of the oldest communities in the United States, and it's special in that its people still speak an ancient accent, believed to be a mix of 17th-century English and Native American. Many linguists say the accent in Tangier resembles the way George Washington or Thomas Jefferson would have spoken, a kind of canned English, surviving 300 years of geographic isolation and cultural conservatism. The people here live by fishing, and while the outside world has changed, Tangier has remained largely forgotten. They resist supermarkets, have no coffee chains, and until recently, didn't even have an ATM. No, that's not a metaphor. There's a real town called Hell, not far from Ann Arbor, Michigan, and it makes the most of its hellishness. In Hell, you can get ice cream at the Crematory Creamery, which serves a gravedigger sundae. You can grab lunch at the Hellhole Diner, where every order comes with a satanic pun. Want to throw a spooky wedding? You can. The town even has a satanic church to cater to that. You can even buy a piece of land in Hell, which will give you a certificate that says, "I own a piece of Hell." Who says hell has to be scary? In Michigan, it's a brand. Imagine walking through a town where your neighbor was once a sword swallower. An 8-foot-tall giant lives across the street, and the grocery store caters primarily to circus performers. That's Gibsonton, or Gibtown, a quaint Florida town that was once an off-season getaway for traveling circus performers. There was once a post office designed so that a dwarf could reach the counter. The fire department was once a giant. Every street is a strange color, as if someone had just folded up the circus tent yesterday. Did your luggage disappear after a flight? Don't worry, head to Scottsboro, Alabama. Here you'll find the Unclaimed Baggage Center, UBC, a collection of millions of items that have been forgotten, left behind, or lost forever from U.S. airports. There's everything: cameras, jewelry, antique books, medical equipment, even fighter jet navigation systems and NASA space cameras. Someone once found a $20 painting in a worn-out suitcase. UBC is now more than just a lost and found recycling facility. It's a museum of real-life chaos, an archive of abandoned memories. The Villages is a Florida senior living community with the catchy slogan, "Florida's friendliest hometown." But there are some hard-to-believe secrets behind the slogan. In 2015, the area recorded a record high rate of sexually transmitted diseases. Rumor has it that golf carts, a popular mode of transportation here, are not only used for golfing, but also mobile dating. Some residents have even been caught doing it between the golf course, the park, and the cart. The press has dubbed this place the retirement version of American Pie. Ever imagined you could buy an entire town? That's what happened in Beaufort, Wyoming. It had 3 residents, then 2, then 1, then it was put up for sale. In 2012, the town was bought by a Vietnamese businessman named Pham Dinh Nguyen for $900. He renamed it Findeli Town Beaufort, after his coffee brand. Beaufort has only 1 gas station, 1 mailbox, 1 sign, but it has the right to appear on the map of the United States. And that's the most important thing: legal existence. KC, Illinois is a small town with a population of about 3,000, but it is world famous for its oversized objects. From a 30-foot pencil, a rocking chair that is nearly 50 feet tall, to other great objects like a giant book, a supersized measuring tape, and a straw longer than a bus. All of them are recognized by Guinness World Records. It's like a miniature world from the movie Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, except you're not shrinking, but everything around you is magnified to a bizarre extent. So, America, with its glitzy streets and bright lights, still has dark corners, more interesting than novels. From burning towns, one-man towns, circus communities and places where seniors live like freshmen, Each is a social experiment. A slice of American identity, at once ridiculous, beautiful, and very human.